Arsenal 2, Aston Villa 1. The goal that decided it came from Gus Caesar. So the final match in Group A would be the decider between Arsenal and Manchester City, both sides with a chance of going through to the playoff. Arsenal only had to draw, but Manchester City had to win by a big scoreline. We join it midway through the first half.
Tommy Caton looks now for Ian Allinson. We haven't seen too much of Arsenal on the attack so far here. Barrett. Simpson. Oh, and here comes Lake, and he's through. He got away from Ricks, but Wilmot did enough coming out of his area. Caton, and that could be dangerous. We've got Wesley Reid on this side. Michael Thomas is with him, just behind him. There's Thomas, and Arsenal score. Michael Thomas gets the goal that could set them on their way to the final later tonight for the right to play tomorrow. Finished it powerfully in the roof of the net. Set up by Reid and taken by Thomas. Here's Paul Simpson. Corner's been given because Reece Wilmot covered quickly there. So it'll be a corner to City. Simpson waiting to take it. Pulls it all the way back to Brightwell. Good save by Wilmot. And Arsenal have brought Paul Merson on up front while that was going on, and there he goes, number 7. Could be an inspired substitution. And Wesley Reid's following up. Deflection. Michael Thomas, surely, yes! 2-0 to Arsenal, 2 for Michael Thomas. The moment that Wilmot made that save at the other end, Arsenal were on their way. Merson had just come on, but when the rebound came back off the bar, it was Michael Thomas who scored. First shot from Wesley Reid onto the bar, and there was Thomas.
So Arsenal leading 2-0 at half-time. We rejoin the match in the second half.
That was Reid looking for Merson. And number 4 for City is Andy May. Across to Paul Molden, who's come on wearing number 6 in this second half. May again. Wilson. The shot by White. Might have done better with that. Michael Thomas got a useful clearance in. Here's Paul Merson. Reid looking for Merson. Oh, good running. Oh, fine goal by Paul Merson. There are people at Highbury who will tell you what a good young player this is. Paul Merson, who's only 18, but he's making quite a name for himself. He's been on once as a sub in the first team quite recently, and that won't have done his cause any harm at all, making it 3-0 to Arsenal here. Moving the ball about quite nicely. Paul Smith here, on to Wesley Reid. In fact, the substitute took part in the game before he was officially on there. This is Merson. It doesn't seem to matter in six-a-side too much. And a chance here for Allen, and back again to Merson. And Merson's in and makes it 4. Brilliant goal, set up by Greg Allen and taken here by Paul Merson, who scores his second in this half. And they've both been superbly taken. Greg Allen gave him the pass, and Merson didn't need asking twice. Andy May. Graham Ricks has come back on in the meantime. May not really middling it, and neither did Wilson. Here comes White. I think the difference in this match is the finishing. Arsenal have been clinical, City have been hesitant. Here's Tommy Caton. Merson's so keen to get a hat-trick here, he's screaming for it to Caton's left. And he's unselfish too, because he set that up for Greg Allen. 5-0, and Greg Allen the scorer. This time Merson is the provider. Lovely pass, and another cool finish. Oh, there's some good young players in this Arsenal team. There's Smith. We're into the last 30 seconds. And here's Clive Wilson. Oh, and there's Brightwell with a chance. Good blocking again by Reece Wilmot. And Redmond, and a goal at last for City. Right at the end, Steve Redmond scores a consolation for Manchester City. It was a long time coming. And that's how it finishes, with Arsenal through to tonight's playoff final with a very convincing victory, 5-1. Michael Thomas had a superb game and scored 2. And I should imagine that Rhys Wilmot will also get the congratulations of coach Terry Burton, because he kept Arsenal in it when it mattered in the first half, and they ran out comfortable winners with that final score taking them into the playoff final later on this evening. 5-1 to Arsenal, and good value they were.
So it's Arsenal taking on Nottingham Forest in the playoff. Prize money of £10,000 at stake, plus the chance, of course, of further prize money for qualifying for tomorrow night's final stages. The Nottingham Forest lineup pretty much the same as that which put 9 goals past Newcastle in their final Group B game. The Arsenal squad, well, young and talented and clearly full of ability, as we've seen from young players like Paul Merson and Gus Caesar already this evening. Well, goalless in the first half, so we join it right at the start of the second half.
Two very evenly matched sides in the first half of this playoff. There were no goals, and everything hinging now on the next 7.5 minutes to see who goes through to tomorrow night's second phase. But here's Wesley Reid for Arsenal from the kickoff. It was close. He had Paul Merson up with him. Here's Johnny Method. Reid. Gus Caesar to his right. Use of the shoulder there, said referee Mills. Johnny Method is the player coming off into the sin bin, because Nottingham Forest did not keep a player in the Arsenal half. So they're down to 5, Forest, and I wonder if that could be the turning point in this playoff. Arsenal have got an extra man, and one of Forest's influential players is in the sin bin. Johnny Method. Just bear in mind, if there's no goals here, or if it ends in a draw, then we could have a penalty shootout to decide who goes through to tomorrow night's finals. So this looks like a close one, and Johnny Method will want those 2 minutes to go quickly. Ricks to Merson, chance for Arsenal. Paul Merson, goal! Beautifully taken by Paul Merson, and the absence of Johnny Method on the pitch surely contributing to that goal. Arsenal had the extra man, and they made it tell. Merson went round Seggers, got his foot round the ball, and put Arsenal in front. Well supplied by Graham Ricks initially with the through pass, and a nice tidy finish by Merson. And now there's some drama in this playoff. This is Wesley Reid. Merson to his right. Here's Caton. Oh, it was close. Forest really having to cover quickly because they're down to 5 men, remember. Ricks for Arsenal. And headed out by Des Walker, so that will be a kick-in from the dotted line. Gus Caesar for Arsenal. Fairclough. Ricks to Caton. Merson. Well, it's Paul Merson's goal by which Arsenal lead, and Forest have got an awful lot to do here. They've got to get Method back on if they can. Another 15 seconds in the sin bin or so. Here's Ricks. And Reid. Oh, that could have been number 2. Off Reid's head for Merson. And there he goes, Johnny Method. He's back on, having served his 2-minute ban. And how Forest need him here. The player's been in their half since he went off. Tommy Caton. Merson. Back now to Ricks, playing deep. Caton. Ricks again. Caton to number 9, Reid. Allen is back on for Arsenal. It's Allen. Merson, good stop. Brilliant save by Hans Segers. That might have been enough for Arsenal. Instead, here's Johnny Method, Neil Webb, Nigel Clough. Franz Carr is on. Forest must use all their attackers now. Clough. Carr. Clough again. Method, well, with Carr on and Method back, anything's possible now for Forest. They're determined to find a way back. Here's Carr. The whole scene has switched now into the other half. Method. Webb. Clough. Gus Caesar shepherding him there. But it was a good pass by Clough to Method. Kept Forest on the attack. Caesar. Mind you, on the break, this lad Merson could prove dangerous. Watched there by Walker. Here's Carr. Franz Carr. Tommy Caton's tackle. Referee Trelford Mills has blown. Three minutes to go. Arsenal 1, Nottingham Forest 0. Referee restarting play by dropping the ball. And it's Greg Allen, number 8 for Arsenal. Merson over on the far side, lurking dangerously. Coming inside, Des Walker! Saved by Segers. Allen couldn't get the rebound in. Both teams have made a substitution while all that's happening. Stuart Pearce has come on for Nottingham Forest. Michael Thomas is back on for Arsenal. It's all happening here. And here's Johnny Method. Forest still have a chance here. It's Pearce. Caton to Thomas. Well, Arsenal have had two good opportunities to wrap this up with the second goal, and they haven't taken them, partly due to the goalkeeping of Hans Segers, that's true. He's kept Forest in with a shout. Here's Paul Merson, though. And Merson for Arsenal, is his second, is it? No, again! Segers was there. 2 minutes left, and Arsenal don't seem to be able to apply the finishing touch here. This is Webb. On chances created, Arsenal should have put this playoff beyond any doubt. Can they do so now? It's Allen to Michael Thomas. Des Walker comes across, but there's Segers again. Webb for Forest. Franz Carr. Method is forward. Still Carr. Pearce. Carr again, coming inside Allen. Blocked by Michael Thomas. Arsenal do group well round the ball on the edge of their penalty area. They're preventing Forest getting the shots through. There's still time though. Here's Pearce. Method. Pearce. Method again. Trying to get by Tommy Caton. Well, Forest may have scored 9 against Newcastle. They haven't got a goal here against Arsenal, and they're into the last minute. It's Arsenal leading 1-0, but here's Des Walker. Could we have a climax here now? Franz Carr. Method will pick up the rebound. What a challenge by Stuart Pearce. Who says that six-a-side is just for fun? He almost broke the Arsenal player in half, and here's a chance for Allinson. Ian Allinson has put Arsenal into tomorrow night's finals. He slid that one in beautifully as Hans Segers came off his line. That's the killer goal. Allinson got away. Look where Segers was, and when the ball went underneath him, he could do nothing about it. And Arsenal are, I would think, home and dry. 2-0 up and into the last 30 seconds. Webb for Forest. Pearce. Certainly, on the way this playoff match has gone, Arsenal deserve the victory. Gus Caesar. Pursued by Pearce. Still Caesar. Allinson. Into the last 10 seconds. Well, there's nothing to prevent him doing that in the rules, but look where he is. Where he is now, Hans Segers. There's the hooter, and Arsenal's young side coached by Terry Burton, come through this first night of the Soccer Six as the halfway champions, you could call them. They beat Nottingham Forest 2-0 in that playoff final. Paul Merson and Ian Allinson were the scorers, and that means that despite the heroics of Seggers and the high scoring of Forest earlier, it's Arsenal who go through to tomorrow night's second phase, when they will be grouped with Sheffield Wednesday and, would you believe it, Tottenham Hotspur. So there's a match to savour tomorrow evening when we get on to the second part of this popular competition. For tonight, though, it's Arsenal who go through, having beaten Forest 2-0 in the playoff.
So it's Arsenal through to tomorrow night's final stages of Soccer 6, where they'll meet
the Arsenal squad, a mixture of youth and experience, have enjoyed their 2 days in Manchester. They start with Rhys Wilmot, Michael Thomas, Tommy Caton, Ian Allinson, Greg Allen and Graham Rix. And Tottenham Hotspur, who will be playing Arsenal in a live match of the day early in January, they start with Tony Parks, Paul Allen, Danny Thomas, Graham Roberts, Gary Mabbott and Chris Waddle. The referee for this one is Joe Worrell of Warrington. And so the North London derby gets underway in six-a-side fashion, and Arsenal are playing from left to right. Ball rolled back to Tommy Caton, number 3. Up to Greg Allen, and now it's Graham Rix. Waddle for Spurs, tackled by Thomas. We could have 3 Thomases in this match altogether. This is Greg Allen for Arsenal. Rix. Paul Merson among the Arsenal substitutes. He scored some super goals last night. And Graham Rix. In again to Michael Thomas. Allinson against the post. Over the line, was it? Well, it certainly won't be now, because Greg Allen went into the shaded area to finish it off. So it's no goal. Still 0-0. Allinson was the unlucky player whose shot hit both post and goalkeeper. Danny Thomas for Tottenham. Chris Waddle. He's on his own up front there against 3 defenders and the goalkeeper. Support arriving now from Howells, who's just come on in place of Mabbott. Here's Danny Thomas. Waddle. Arsenal do group well round the ball. They've worked hard on the defensive side of this Soccer 6, there's no question about that. And they won the ball back for precisely that reason. This is Howells, though. Ardiles. Oh, Howells! Good save by Rhys Wilmot coming off his line, but Howells almost got the second chance in. Still Arsenal 0, Tottenham 0. Caton finds Rix. Michael Thomas. Allinson. Reed to his left. Still Allinson. Beautifully turned on by Howells to Graham Roberts. The return is on to Howells. Spurs take the lead. Graham Roberts used the boards intelligently. David Howells was on hand. Good football by Tottenham. And they take the lead. Graham Rix for Arsenal. He's got Allen up with him and Merson. That's Merson. Look to his right. Got the shot in. And the substitutions continue to happen, but Waddle couldn't connect there. And in fact, he's walking towards the substitutes bench and is replaced by Howells. Here's Greg Allen. Thomas. Michael Thomas, that is. Rix trying to close in on the rebound. Ardiles for Tottenham. No, it's Rix for Arsenal. Oh, and Greg Allen couldn't convert. It was a chance set up by Rix, and Tottenham escaped. Ian Allinson. Michael Thomas to his left, and to his right, Greg Allen. Good tackle by Graham Roberts. He could put Paul Allen away here. Caught his heels, though. Allinson to Michael Thomas. Inside to Allinson. Merson. Allinson back to Merson. Shooting chance. Good save by Tony Parks. Held on well. Here's Wes Reed for Arsenal. Now Michael Thomas, driven fiercely towards Merson. Here's Reed. Allinson is square. This is number 4, Allinson. Good shot, and it flew just wide, having gone over Danny Thomas's head. Mitchell Thomas now. Graham Roberts. Spurs looking to get the second on the break if they can. David Howells. Arsenal, though, have got their players back now, bar the obligatory one. Roberts. Mabbott. Spurs knowing that as every few seconds goes by, they get nearer to the final of tonight's Soccer 6. A win here would give them 6 points in the group, and there's nothing Arsenal or Sheffield Wednesday could do about that. But it's Michael Thomas, because Arsenal can still do something in the next 2.5 minutes. Greg Allen. Merson. Michael Thomas. Allinson. Yes, that's the equaliser. Beautifully taken. Ian Allinson, the scorer. That was a lovely shot. He kept it down low with the right foot, past Tony Parks. And from a difficult angle, inside the near post, Ian Allinson has put this London derby back on the boil at 1-1. This is Paul Allen. Paul Allen's shot well saved by the feet of Wilmot. Good goalkeeping. Mitchell Thomas. Waddle. Still Chris Waddle. Well played by Gary Mabbott. Waddle gave it away. Now, are we going to see a dramatic finish here? A lovely ball by Ricks, a magnificent ball, and Michael Thomas is through. He's round the goalkeeper. Caesar in the middle. Oh, was it a penalty? No, I thought I saw a defender in the goalkeeper's zone. Referee Joe Worrell said no, and here's Waddle for Tottenham at the other end. And he's been brought down by Rhys Wilmot. And Joe Worrell has another awkward decision to make. He could put the keeper in the sin bin for that, should he choose. I don't think he's going to. It's a free kick to Tottenham. Rhys Wilmot has got away with it for the moment. Ardiles against Ricks. Excitement at both ends here. But that's the way Soccer 6 goes. Less than a minute left. Arsenal 1, Tottenham 1. Allinson for Arsenal. Well intercepted by Graham Roberts. Still Roberts. Not a good finish. And Ricks sees the chance to find Michael Thomas. Allinson. Tommy Caton's up on the left. There are 2 others ahead. Michael Thomas. Michael Thomas. And still somehow pushed it against the feet of the goalkeeper. There are less than 30 seconds to go. Arsenal have a corner. Ian Allinson to take. Gus Caesar's there! Yes! Gus Caesar scores to bring waves of joy to the Arsenal bench. Corner by Allinson, shot by Caesar into the roof of the net. It's 2-1 to Arsenal, and suddenly the whole game has changed in the last 20 seconds. Spurs, from being a goal up for so long, are 2-1 down, and the group is wide open. 10 seconds. Could Arsenal yet score again? Michael Thomas. There may not be time. That was a good match and a fine turnaround by Arsenal. A goal down at half-time, equalising through Ian Allinson and getting the winner through Gus Caesar, which means that both Tottenham and Arsenal have 3 points in this group, and Arsenal still have Sheffield Wednesday to play, and would therefore at this stage appear to be favourites perhaps to go through to the final later tonight. We shall see.
Among all the mathematical permutations, Sheffield Wednesday know that they have to win this final match in Group C by a scoreline of 2-0 or better to have a chance of qualifying for the final. And they elect to start with this team: Kevin Pressman, Mel Sterland, Tony Gregory, Gary Megson, Chris Morris and Carl Shutt. Arsenal, on the other hand, know that a draw is good enough for them, and they start with Rhys Wilmot, Michael Thomas, Tommy Caton, Ian Allinson, Greg Allen and Graham Ricks. And Mike Reid is our referee for this final match in Group C. Allinson there with Mel Sterland, and an early touch on the Wednesday keeper, Pressman. This is Shutt for Wednesday. Mixon's gone on his outside. This is Mel Sterland. The long-range shot was blocked by Caton. And again, this is Morris. Still in possession. That'll come back off the boards and safely gathered by Rhys Wilmot. Graham Ricks forward to Allen. Allinson in support on the left. Caton. And Ricks. Still Ricks. Good shot by Ricks, testing the keeper in the first 20 seconds. Mel Sterland. Shutt trying to lay it back into the path of Megson. Now Ricks who's can do. Thomas forward to Allinson. Allen's making a run on the left. Oh, both keepers have seen quite a lot of the ball in this opening 45 seconds. This is Gregory. Sterling's gone on a run and taken the defender with him. Shutt. Good stop by Wilmot. Oh, and Michael Thomas had to be very careful not to step into the goalkeeper's shaded area there. This is Ricks in a very deep position. Confident enough to play the ball out of his own penalty area. Forward to Allinson. Ricks arriving now in support. And that's a foul against Allinson. Quickly taken. Shutt. Gets it back. Intercepted by Ricks, who's been in his own penalty area. Up in attack and back, so he's a busy man. Allen with Morris. Allen got possession and knocked it to a position where he hoped there was a player. Gregory. Cross to Megson. Megson for Wednesday. Carl Shutt. Morris. Shutt's gone on a run. This is Megson. Morris again tries to go around Reid. This will come over to Gregory. Back to Megson. Morris, Wednesday keeping possession. And this is Gregory. Megson. Shutt. Back to Megson. And away by Thomas. Caton for Arsenal. Forward for Allinson, who's just got one man to beat, and it's Morris. Still Allinson, tries to work an opening. Pressman saves. Gregory for Wednesday. Morris. First, who's just come on as a sub for Wednesday. Oh, and they've got it forward to Ian Allinson, and he's placed it wide of Kevin Pressman. Crucial goal for Arsenal. Well, he was well forward, Ian Allinson, and that ball found him beyond the last man, who was Megson. Look at the space that he's got. Megson's desperately trying to get back to cover, but it's too late, and Allinson has put Arsenal one up. David Tomlinson gets the better of Reid, still in possession. And still Tomlinson, and yet again the ball flashing across the face of goal. Carl Shutt. Tomlinson. Long range. Sterland made an opening, has he? And is that a corner? That came off Michael Thomas. So Mel Sterland with the corner for Wednesday. There's only Tomlinson in the penalty area, but he's pulled it all the way back to Shutt. Oh, good shot from the long range. Carl Shutt levels the scores, and that must be one of the longest range goals that we've seen in the competition. He's well outside the penalty area and just wide of the fingers of Rhys Wilmot, and that levels it 1-1, and maybe the keeper was a bit unsighted. Morris. Tomlinson. Well, Sterland. Tomlinson. Tries to find Shutt. Rhys Wilmot saving at the feet of Megson. He really is fast and furious, this. Tommy Caton. Ball just held up a little bit on the boards. Oh, he's got it forward to Merson. Thomas. Merson, what a good goal. Beautifully played by the Arsenal youngsters. And another important role by Merson. He was there to score a simple tap-in the end, but it was his lovely ball to find Thomas which really made the opening. 2-1 to Arsenal. Shutt bounced it back off the boards. Michael Thomas forward to Greg Allen, who's just come on. He's got Merson, number 7, in support. Is he 7? Well, he was very close to scoring again in the space of 30 seconds. Morris. This is Gregory. Sterland made the extra man. Oh, Shutt! Keeper got his fingers to it, but he only pushed it out into the path of Shutt. 2-2. And you've got to be alert in this six-a-side and sniff for every opening. Gary Megson's the man furthest forward for Wednesday. That's him. Shutt gets it back. Good interception by Caesar. Mel Sterland. Inside the last 10 seconds. Megson laying it back to Gregory. And away by Caton. And it'll stay at 2-2 at half-time. A really thunderous match, this, between Arsenal and Sheffield Wednesday. Allinson and Merson, the scorers for Arsenal. And Carl Shutt, 2 goals for Sheffield Wednesday. And it's level at half-time, 2 apiece. So Wednesday start the second half then, 2 apiece, knowing that they still need to score 2 more and deny Arsenal a goal. This is Hurst, who's come on at the start of the second half. To Sterland. Greg Allen. Allinson. Another long-range effort. Thomas has to turn. Allinson, supported by Ricks. Allinson scored for some tight angles already. Gary Megson. First, was he blocked by Caesar? No, play waved on. And that's Greg Allen. Well, the mathematics are fascinating in this match, but Wednesday know they've got to win it. Forward by Caesar, and intercepted by Gregory. Morris tries a shot from long range, and Megson's got it. Wilmot lost it. Going quickly out to Allen. He can make ground now. He's got Ian Allinson forward. There's Allinson. Just Mel Sterland between him and goal at the moment. He's holding it up. Oh, just wide of the post. Well, I'm sure there are 1 or 2 players out there with tired legs, particularly Arsenal. This is Morris for Wednesday. Remember, this is the second night of competition for Arsenal. Greg Allen. Thomas. Allinson's free. Allinson, is this going to be 3-2? Off the boards, try again. Oh, that hit the defender. Now again. Well, he had 3 goes at that, Ian Allinson. 1 off the boards, 1 off the defender, which he thought was handball, and then finally scoring at the 3rd attempt. Arsenal 3, Wednesday 2. Merson, who's just come on. Oh, he's turned his defender. Good run by Merson. Bright young player he is. It really is end-to-end. Megson with Morris in support. Oh, he tried to backheel it and gave it instead to Ricks. Knight. 2 minutes left. Tomlinson. Long-range effort for Morris, who tried to lay it down for Megson, who was just a bit too far back. And it's a free kick to Arsenal. Just under 2 minutes left. Still Arsenal ahead by 3 goals to 2 against Sheffield Wednesday. In a game, one of the best matches we've seen. Tommy Caton, Merson can turn and look at goal. Pressman was out of his area. Still Merson. And Caton will lay it back to Ricks. Graham Ricks. Caton. Ricks. Reads forward. So too is Merson. Ricks. Oh yes! Thomas! Michael Thomas makes it 4-2 to Arsenal. And surely now Arsenal, who've won this tournament once previously and been in the final on another occasion, are through to the final later tonight. They just need a win here against Wednesday, and 4-2 ahead with just over a minute left to play. Ricks. Oh, good ball forward. The fine Reed has just come on. Merson, yes! Took it so well. Well, he only needs a sniff of goal, this youngster from Highbury. 18 years of age, who's had one first-team appearance as a sub. But he really is clinical around goal. That's 5-2 to Arsenal. Sterland, and with some 40 seconds left, it's really academic now for Sheffield Wednesday. Ricks. Tried to play it along the boards, instead to Mel Sterling. Gregory, that's Ian Hansen, off down platform 7. Ricks. Merson. Has he got around his man yet again? He's got around Knight. This is Merson. The goals are open. He had to check back. And off the toe of Reed. Inside the last 10 seconds. And it's going to be Arsenal through to the final. As the hooter goes, an emphatic victory for Arsenal by 5 goals to 2. And what a player this man is. Paul Merson, who scored 2 goals, the 18-year-old Highbury youngster, a star to look forward to seeing in the future, and who knows, maybe later tonight in the final. Arsenal 5, Sheffield Wednesday.
Stake here. Arsenal have already won £5,000 for winning last night's playoff. The winners tonight receive a further £10,000, and the runners-up will receive £7,500 out of the total sponsorship money. The Oxford team will have memories of their final First Division match of last season, when victory over Arsenal at the Manor Ground kept them in that top league. Their team tonight starting is Steve Hardwick, John Dreyer, John Truick, Kevin Brock, John Aldridge and David Leeworthy. While Arsenal, experienced competitors now in this arena, have Rhys Wilmot, Michael Thomas, Tommy Caton, Ian Allinson, whose form has been excellent, Greg Allen and Graham Ricks, from whom we heard a few minutes ago. The referee for the final is Joe Worrell of Warrington. John Truick and Rhys Wilmot are the 2 captains. Arsenal have a wonderful record in 6-a-side. They won the tournament in Birmingham 2 years ago. They lost in the final on penalties to Tottenham the last time this sort of competition was played. So here they are in their 3rd consecutive final, and they've got some support there too. So away we go for the climax to these 2 nights of competition. And it's Michael Thomas for Arsenal. Up to Ian Allinson. This is Tommy Caton. An early attempt there to find Allinson through the middle, but Oxford played so well against Manchester United that they've shown they're quite capable of adapting to this sort of football. Lee Worthy is number 8 and Brock is number 5. Truick, Dreyer. Starting with 2 natural strikers in Aldridge and Lee Worthy are Oxford, perhaps going for the early goal. There's Aldridge. Dreyer. Thomas finds the outlet for Arsenal, up to Ian Allinson. Tommy Caton coming down this side. He's got Greg Allen in support as well. There's Allen and Dreyer helping the goalkeeper. John Truitt bringing it away for Oxford. Now it's Kevin Brock. Taking on Ricks. Brock. Just wanted a touch. This is Lee Worthy. Truick back again to Brock. Truick for Oxford. Brock again. Arsenal, who've defended very well in this competition, grouping their players behind the ball. Lee Worthy. Thomas breaking for Arsenal. He's an accomplished player. And Ian Allinson has always looked dangerous, number 4. Steve Hardwick got his fingertips to that, turned it against the glass, and when it came out, Greg Allen volleyed over. And on the break for Oxford, Aldridge hits the post. Good efforts here at either end. Some of the finishing in this Soccer 6 has been of a spectacularly high order. There's Greg Allen. Arsenal's team a good mix of young and not so young. Caton and Ricks providing the experience with Allinson, and the younger players like Allen and Thomas learning a lot as the competition goes on. This is Truick for Oxford. Lee Worthy. Aldridge. This is Kevin Brock. John Truick. Brock. Worth a try, and it's come back off the boards to Aldridge. Anticipating where the ball is going to come to from the perimeter boards is so much part of the game. Graham Ricks for Arsenal, trying to change the point of play. It's come back to Tommy Caton. And Ricks again as Arsenal build an attack now. Nicely chested back by John Truitt to his goalkeeper, but Michael Thomas anticipated the throw. This is Wes Reed, who's come on for Arsenal wearing number 9. And there he goes again. That's Reed. This is Allinson. Tries to get past Dreyer. Bit of a shove there on Ian Allinson by John Dreyer. Free kick to Arsenal. Ricks has gone across to take it. Allinson trying to find some space. Off the boards, and Oxford able to cope with that. So, 0-0 in this first half. And if this final should be drawn, there is a provision for a penalty competition. This is John Truick. Lee Worthy. Reed got to him. Thomas. Oh, and there goes Reed. Where's Reed for Arsenal? Allinson's in the area. Good challenge by Dreyer. It was his tackle. And Lee Worthy makes a break for Oxford, and a good-looking break it is too. Covering plenty of ground there, David Lee Worthy, and gets the free kick. Obstruction against Tommy Caton. Arsenal have made a substitution meantime. Paul Merson has come on for Allinson. But it's Truick for Oxford to Brock. Aldridge finds Brock again. Goes past Ricks. But he's trapped a bit now, is Kevin Brock. Truick. Brock again. Lee Worthy. Oxford are not hurrying it, they're just probing for the opening. Brock's shot, and well fielded by Rhys Wilmot, who's proved an excellent goalkeeper on this surface. John Dreyer. Here's Leeworthy. Oxford, if anything, are having more of the play in the first half. This is Brock. But it's been broken up now. This is Wes Reed. Caden is to his right. Merson's on this side, number 7. Ricks. Merson. Ricks again. That's a good effort from Graham Ricks, only just too high. Michael Thomas. Caden. Ricks once more. It's cat and mouse at the moment. Reed for Arsenal. Merson. Ricks. Going for the opening, Graham Ricks against the boards. Oh, Merson, and off the line by Dreyer, but he was inside the goalkeeper's zone. John Dreyer was in the shaded area. It's a penalty to Arsenal. He protests, but it's no good. Joe Worrell has given the penalty, and the responsibility falling here on 19-year-old Michael Thomas, and he took it with some aplomb. Michael Thomas, who was an England schoolboy international and has come through the ranks at Highbury, puts them ahead in the Soccer 6 final. Ricks firing it through. Brock to Truick. Now Bobby McDonald. Closing it forward. Oh, and that was Brock who went in for the header. Perfectly permissible in Soccer 6. Though it wouldn't have been in 5-a-side. Here's Bobby McDonald again. Nogan on the far side, number 10. Some pushing by the boards there from Gus Caesar. Oxford have the free kick to be taken by Truick. As he prepares to take it, they've brought Leeworthy back on. Here's Allen for Arsenal. That's Allenson who tried to reach it. The referee thinks the ball may have gone out there, and on the benches, some anxious faces. Ray Graydon organising his next substitution. Should imagine we'll see John Aldridge back any second now, because Oxford need a goal. This is Nogan. Coming thick and fast, as it has for the last 2 nights, and as Oxford are trying to make a substitution, but Nogan, having been called off, suddenly found the ball at his feet and carried on. They can make the change now. John Aldridge has come on for him. Into the last 5 minutes. Aldridge with the header, and then Michael Thomas. So far, a tight game here in the Soccer 6 final. Truick finds Aldridge. Still Aldridge, and Caesar stepping in. Lovely ball by Ricks there, down the line to Caesar. This is Allen. Allinson wants it over on the far side, had to take it first time. Truick. Now it's Leeworthy. Leeworthy up against Ricks. And Arsenal again grouping well round the ball, shutting down the man in possession. That's been their pattern over these last 2 nights. But Oxford has stood in with a perfectly good shout here. Bobby McDonald. Aldridge is in there, headed away by Michael Thomas. This is Truick. It's hard work forcing an opening against Arsenal, but can Aldridge get one here? Michael Thomas in the way. Terry Burton calling Allinson across to shut down these defenders. Dreyer to McDonald. They haven't shut them down this time, Arsenal. But they did in the end. And here's Greg Allen, number 8. Allinson, but Dreyer steps in. This is Truick. Brock. Now the referee will want to sort that out because the door opened there to permit a substitute to come on. 2 of them, in fact. Tommy Caton is back on. Michael Thomas is off. We're into the last 3 minutes. Wes Reed has come on as well for Arsenal. He's making the run forward now. But it was Brock for Oxford. Got it back nicely. Still Kevin Brock. Support from David Leeworthy. Aldridge for Oxford. And we've seen plenty of matches turn in the last 3 minutes. Here's Truick. Gus Caesar had to concede. And Arsenal are not home and dry yet by any means. It's Truick who's going to take this corner kick for Oxford. And it was Aldridge who got a touch. A typical John Aldridge goal. John Truick just played the corner in short. And John Aldridge got the touch, which makes it Arsenal 1, Oxford 1. You could call that a near-post corner. And how sweetly taken. Reed finds Ricks for Arsenal. Good effort, Reed! No, the goalkeeper Hardwick performs heroics again. So could this go to penalties? It's 1-1 at the moment. Brock for Oxford. Into the last 2 minutes. Truick. Aldridge. Oh, that might have found Brock. Wes Reed got a foot to it. Now, this is set up possibly for a dramatic winning goal, but which side is it going to come from, I wonder? Graham Ricks to Paul Merson. Ricks again. But it was John Aldridge that got back. Oxford thinking about bringing on their number 6, Paul Swannock. Indeed they have. Arsenal have the kick in, the crowd stamping to join in the climax of this final. Ricks it is, floating one. Very good idea too. Merson's in there, Hardwick is battling away, and he's found Swannock, but Reed is there for Arsenal. That was a 3-line ball, it didn't bounce in the central section. Free kick, here's Tommy Caton. Graham Ricks. Still Ricks. Merson, who slipped when it mattered there, but he's still got possession. We're into the last minute of the final. It's 1-1. It's Wes Reed. It's Caton who's made the mistake, but a chance to retrieve it for Tommy Caton. Now Merson. Applause ringing round the arena. The crowd have really enjoyed this, and John Aldridge is away for Oxford. Rick saw the danger, and he also saw Tommy Caton. Could we see something dramatic in the last 30 seconds? 3-line ball, free kick to Oxford. The ball didn't go in the central area, so a free kick on the far side. The clock has been stopped while the ball is brought back. So maybe it's Oxford who will have the last chance. 28 seconds. Brock. Kevin Brock. This is Truick. And here's John Dreyer. Dreyer's shot, and Swannock! Oh, the youngster's got it! The 17-year-old in his first year as a pro, Paul Swannock, gets the goal that may win the Soccer 6 for Oxford. What a thrill for him if it does. It was John Dreyer with the shot, Wilmot with the save, and Swannock steered the ball in. We're in the last few seconds. Thomas forward. Allen for Arsenal. And Ricks. And that's it. Oxford are the champions. Oxford United win the 1986 Guinness Soccer 6 Championship, and £10,000 goes